Today on my channel, planner friends, we're going to talk about Mercari, and I'm going to give you my tips for selling planner, crafty kind of items on Mercari, how to destash, what the process involves, and some hopefully helpful tips and suggestions. Stay tuned. Hi planner friends, crafty friends, welcome to my channel. I'm one crafty dolo and I'm happy you're here with me today. Thank you for taking your time and spending it with me. This is a video, a viewer request, if you will, and I think it's a great idea. I never thought of it, so thank you for that. I don't remember who suggested it, but thank you. Today I'm going to talk about selling on Mercari, as I said, so let's just dive into it. If you're new, you're welcome to subscribe. If you like crafty planner stuff, if you're returning a subscriber, thank you for your time. So I've got my little post-it notes here, and so without further ado, let's get going. All right, so why Mercari? Why do I destash and purchase? I purchase a lot of really great planner items off of Mercari for a steal sometimes, depending. So why? The pros are there are less fees than eBay. I don't like Facebook Marketplace. That gets a little, I don't know, I just don't like it. That's my own personal. The fees have gone up. Let me say that. The fees have gone up, but they're still not as expensive as eBay. I find it very user-friendly. The app is so easy to use. It makes selling easy. You don't have to have a printer. You used to, but now they send you with the shipping email a QR code. So you just take that to the post office or UPS and you just show them that. And even for a while, we lived in a really ridiculously rural place, and the UPS was in a warehouse where they shipped from and only open a few hours, a few days. All I had to do was give her the number and then it would work. She couldn't do the swiping of the code. That's how rural we were. And so I find it to be it's easy to track your shipping. They send you reminders. You have to get everything off in 3 business days. And they send you reminders like you haven't shipped it yet. And sometimes if you're working, if you're busy, that really helps. It's so easy to track, like I said. You have money that, after you get paid, what happens is the seller receives the item and has 2 or 3 days to rate you. Once they rate you and you rate them, then you get paid. And you have the option of a quick instant deposit, and then you can wait for so many days. Of course, the quick one has more fees. We know that, right? So I just find it to be user-friendly. I like the fact that I know you can sell on eBay without auctions, but I like the fact there's not even the possibility of that on Mercari. I turn unused items into cash. Sometimes I spend it, sometimes I keep it, sometimes I just hold it and I wait for other purchases. So how to sell on Mercari. Number one, and I'll put a graphic at the end of this to explain the steps if you need them. Number one, assess the condition of your item honestly and be transparent. That is key, in my opinion. If you're going to have good reviews, if you want to treat this as a business, because it is, even if it's just to destash and whatever you're doing, be honest about it. And I'm going to show you what I mean. I picked up some planner items recently that were very well priced. Now, I'm not slamming the seller. I would have bought this regardless, but I don't know that I would purchase from the person again. And I only say that because, yeah, this is a B6 Traveler's Notebook. Now, in hindsight, when I really open the picture large, I see that there is, see that pen stain? Yeah, you see it? But I didn't do that. So you could say, I didn't do my due diligence. Okay. Fair enough. However, when you go in, these strings are like so not tight, I'm playing with it to get them tighter. Now again, this was a really good bundle and I would have purchased it anyway, but could I have seen the pen mark if I looked harder? Sure. Okay, but this. See what Mercari does, it asks you to list the condition of your items. Now I purchased this with stuff that was still in a package, so they put new. Fine, you can only pick, even if you're bundling a few things, maybe something's new, maybe part of it's used, you would pick new or like new, but be transparent in the comments. I, for example, will, if I'm selling a ring planner and the rings have made indents, I take a picture of that, and I'm, usually will mention it in the comments, or vice versa. Be transparent is what I'm saying. Show people what they're getting. Think of it business wise as a consumer. Okay. I just bought something at Walgreens that isn't functioning. Believe it or not, it's a concealer, and the applicator it's like one of those you squeeze. It's not working no matter what. So I'm going to return it. It's got a sponge tip. I'm going to return it because it's not working. Well, I'm not upset with this transaction because I'm pretty experienced in Mercari, but this is rare. Usually you get what you pay for and people are honest, but continue that if you will. The second tip is to know your market and know your price point. Look online, look at eBay, look at Mercari, look at Facebook Marketplace. Get a sense of what's selling for what, because if you're people are coming on there to get deals, chances are things are a little bit used. Well, what you need to do is to tap into that by saying, okay, I'm offering a great bargain. And Mercari has a scale which will, as you're setting your price, saying, your price is just right, or this is going to be slow, it's too much. However, if you are try it again. Sometimes my brain's faster than my mouth. If you're bundling items together in the sense of offering a package deal, maybe you're selling a planner plus inserts. Well, the planner that you're listing isn't, when you go to do the price, it may say, oh, this is only worth $12. And you're like, no, it's not. I've got other stuff in here. So be aware of your price point, price it honestly, and just know your market. Also be aware of your emotional involvement with the item you're selling, which may sound ridiculous, but hear me out. Is it something you just want out of your house? Is it something you're tired of and you're like, get it out of my house? Price it accordingly. Is it something you're like, oh, and I'm guilty of this, I've been guilty of this, oh, I just wanted to go to a good home and I hope somebody likes it as much as I did? No, that's not your role. So price it accordingly and understand the suggested price may not reflect your item's condition, its value, the extras you're throwing in. So go into it informed. Okay, another post-it. Take good, clear, well-lit photos, which comes back to this. It was on there, but again, it wasn't mentioned. It was a smaller photo because they were showing everything in what I was purchasing. You can have up to 12 photos. Depending what you're selling and the condition and what you want to show, use as many of them as you need. If you need all of them, use all of them. Take them in bright, natural light, always the best. And if you need to filter it, if it's a little dark, which is the most common problem, that is one of the common problems, less so now. But another problem I find is like 1 or 2 photos. Well, maybe somebody, okay, is selling this, but they don't show the inside of this. You see what I mean? So you need to really work on your photos and to make the product look appealing, okay? If you're selling a group of items, your first shot should include everything in that grouping, that bundle, if you will. You need to show people, hey, look at all the value I'm getting, because that will catch their eye, right? Price higher than you might want to, but not too high. I generally, $5 is my leeway. You don't want to overprice, but you do want to have the ability to give people an offer to say you're selling something for 15, it's listed, but you really want 10. Say you'll offer it, and I'll talk about that. You leave it up there, and you can see how many people have viewed your item, and how many people have liked it. Keep an eye on those two things. If you get enough likes, I say 4 and above, 3 maybe, but within 48 hours, send an offer to the likers. You don't have to drop it down the full $5. In fact, I wouldn't drop it down $2. And then wait, because the offer they have 24 hours to respond. Know that once they offer, they commit to buying it. If they offer you a lesser price, and we'll talk about that too. Okay, so you price it slightly more than you want. I don't use the smart pricing. There's a tool on Mercari where you can say, okay, this is my bottom line, and it'll automatically reduce it. It's a great tool. I like having more control over what I'm doing with it, so not really my thing, but it is an option. You can also offer, you can put in your description, but put it in your seller profile that you offer discounts if they quote bundle. And by bundle, I mean you have 2 planners and they want both. Well, both are listed at $12, say. It's the nice thing to do because they're buying more than one of your products to offer discount on at least one of them. So you may say, well, since you're bundling, I'll give you, we'll call instead of both for what, $12 did I say? So maybe you'll give them one for 12 and one for 9, and then you bundle that up that way. Just a thought. Offers. So when somebody commits to buying they can send you an offer. You can do it when you buy things. You can accept it. You have 24 hours, just like when you send an offer to your likers. If somebody sends you an offer, you have 24 hours to accept it. You can decline it. You can counter. Okay. This is where it can get, and I've had this happen too, more than once. You can get people who lowball it, ridiculously lowball it. So your item is 20 and they're offering you 8. It happens. You'd be surprised at the moxie people have. I've sold enough to know that now I ignore those offers. I don't even entertain them, and I don't respond to them. I just don't. I don't want to counter if somebody's so far down in their pricing that they're offering me. It's a waste of your time. Okay. And you don't need that. You have better things to do with your time than haggle with somebody. Now, and this has happened to me too, where if they have the nerve to give you a lowball offer, guess what? Sometimes they'll message you and say, why didn't you respond to my offer? Oh, I hate that. White lie it. Honestly, you can either ignore them if you want. I've done that. Sometimes I'm like, I've been busy, and then you politely but firmly say, however, I've been busy, whatever you want to say. However, I do need to make a profit on this item, and that's just way too low. And then sometimes they'll raise it $1. Well, will you consider this? Like, you have to decide when you're dealing with the public where your lines are, but I have said to people no, and then they disappear. Another trick is people will ask you to hold an item. Oh, I need you to hold this. I'm not getting paid till Friday. Okay, sure. We've all had our ups and downs financially, I'm sure, but no, you don't do that. You're not layaway. Sorry. And you could be polite, but firm, no. I've also had people where they'll message you and say, I'm trying to think of a good example in my head here. I really like this, but it's just too much. And you can offer them what's your actual price. They may still say it's too much. You can't. No. What I will do sometimes then is I don't like to leave stuff on forever. So I have a certain time period where it's up for sale, and if it's not sticking, take it off. Save the pictures, save your pictures, because you're going to relist it in another week or so. And speaking of listing, okay, I need you to think of listing, looking at my post-it notes here, listing as time sensitive. I usually list on Sunday nights, or let me say, I have my best results when I list an item for sale on Sunday nights. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because people are at home, they're bored, they're just trying to gear up for the week ahead. Sunday nights seem to be my best time to sell. How long you leave something up without selling, that's up to you. I saw an item that I really like, and I'm not buying it right now, but it's been listed since April, and now we're going into August. I don't do that. A month maybe, and then it's down, then it's relisted later on. People can set searches, and so you should set your own search terms. So I sell some Carpe Diem binders that I'm not using anymore, and so I'll set a search term for Carpe Diem, because you hashtag when you list. Definitely hashtag. You can do 3 tags. Then you follow that product, and you keep an eye on what's selling and what's not, and then you can decide on how long you want your listing to stay up if it's not selling. Just, just a thought. And I keep search terms saved. For example, my Filofaxes. I put a search term of Filofax in, and I purchased 2 binders eventually with money I left on my Mercari app that I didn't put into my bank account. And when these came up, I was ready to pounce because they were less than half their full price. Yes, they're used, but barely. So sometimes you can really score a deal, and people like deals. So that's why I like sometimes to offer more than just one item. I'll throw in washi or stickers. Yeah, you can throw in extras too. I've gotten some really nice little, here's one I got recently, not that long ago, a little pack of stickers. Will I use them all? I don't know, but I really like when people do that. Okay, that Okay, shipping. Shipping can be difficult only in the sense it's expensive. The process of shipping is super easy with Mercari. You should get a postal scale. Maybe you need to sign up at stamps.com or something, like that. There's nothing good about shipping other than they make it as easy as they can, but the rates are ridiculous. So then you have to make a choice. Are you paying for shipping, or are they? And then it'll ask you, sometimes it'll just populate with what it thinks your weight is, and you might have to adjust and fix it. But just know that that's a hard decision sometimes, because I know I'm the one on whatever site, and they're like, hey, spend $40 and you get free shipping. And I'm like, okay, which is stupid, right? Because I'm spending the money anyway, but it's a mental thing. I sometimes offer free shipping, but a lot of times I don't anymore because it's so expensive. And excuse me, any money you collect for shipping, it's not profit, it's just going out. So that's something to really consider. You do want to weigh it though, because that is a key component. But I love the fact that you just take it in, show them the QR code, and you're set. Whew, that was a lot, wasn't it? I feel like I threw all kinds of info. I'll try to make an infographic for the end of this so that you can see what I'm talking about. But hopefully this was helpful. I really hope this gives you some incentive. And I like the idea that my stuff is being repurposed. I like the fact that I'm buying things and repurposing them. I really, I don't know, I just think that's great, because I've gotten some really wonderful, wonderful things. And it's nice when you sell something, you throw in some extras, it's a good product, and somebody's really happy with what you sold them. It is a transaction. It is a business transaction. But it is kind of a nice feeling to think to yourself, hey, they're good today, and I did that. I had a little part in that. So, all right, friends, thanks for watching, and thank you for the suggestion of doing this video. If you have more suggestions, Feel free to mention them in the comments. And if you have questions about Mercari and you need something more specific, I'll try to answer it in the comments. Thanks, planner friends. Have a great day. Bye.